Okay, one thing that I did forget to mention that you may find great for this project is gesso. And it's really a thick type of white paste. It's thicker than white paint, but you can use white paint if you don't have gesso around. Gesso's not that expensive, but it does come in large quantities, so it can be anywhere from $8 to $12 for a container. So for some people that might be expensive, even though it lasts a very long time. Well, depending on the scale of the project, right? If you're working on big canvases, it can get expensive. But if you're working on small projects like this, I tend to carry around a bottle of gesso for months before I have to buy more. So here's one thing that I'm going to use to begin the project. I'm going to move some of this stuff aside now. What I do with the gesso is that I use it to kind of form a blank canvas, and I can paint over this, but it may take layers of paint, whereas if I apply gesso, let it dry, and then come back and put paint over it, it actually has a thicker quality, and I don't have to use so many layers of paint to do this. Now to apply the gesso, it's like I said, it's a pretty thick product. You'll see in here it's pretty thick. You can use a paintbrush. I use one that's kind of like old and beat up. So what you definitely want to do is just kind of apply some to the surface. You make sure that you're seeing this. Apply it to the surface evenly of your box, and that's just gonna give us this thick layer to cover up all the branding of the Altoids branding. Since this is no longer going to be an Altoids box, we are covering that up. You can go along the sides too if you want. It may take a while to dry if you apply it really thick. So I kind of say, depending on how much time you have, you don't have to go too thick. Just want to apply it around the edges to kind of give it a nice, even. I'm just covering that up. So you see we're just covering it up. Nothing fancy. Just covering up that branding. So we're going to let this dry. That is a piece of flour or something. So we'll let that dry. We'll cover that up. We'll put that right here. Be sure to rinse out your brush if you want to use this brush again. It can get really hard and stiff from gesso. So we're going to rinse that out, and then we'll come back to complete the project.